Oh, I know I look ugly. You don't got to say it in the comment section down below. What's up, folks? Welcome back to the show here at Esports Talk. We got a great talking point for all of you guys. I am super curious what all of y'all think about this one. We actually talked a long time ago. There were some trolls back and forth. 100 Thieves kind of teased, signing S1mple to Valorant. We all knew it wasn't going to happen, but of course we got to talk about it in case it did. Over the past week or so, it's been S1mple kind of dabbling back into Valorant, giving some opinions on the op, being banned and ranked, and then of course actually being unbanned just a few hours later because he is a powerful human being, especially when it comes to FPS titles. It was actually a recent clip out there which sparked a wild thought to me. I don't think he's switching to Valorant at this point in time. Could it be a future retirement plan for the guy? Certainly so, but I think Navi CSGO, especially given his contract and given his new buyout, he's going to be staying in CSGO for the time being. God, I hope I'm right when I say that, but when he talks about in a clip out there that if he was Astralis, if he had 4 majors under his belt, he has accomplished everything he possibly could in the CSGO space. If S1mple was Astralis, he might switch to Valorant.
Oh man, better to play Valorant than play like this. Would you really quit CS to play Valorant? Listen, if I was Astralis that won 4 majors, I would probably think about this, But since I have 0 major, I'll keep grinding.
Which, I'm not going to leave you guys empty-handed. I'm so thankful that we actually have some interviews coming up, have done some in the past as well, with some prominent figures out there, one of whom is actually an Astralis member. That being my boy, Devi Device, who actually answered us when we asked him, would you think of a switch from CSGO to Valorant? Yeah, and certainly we've actually seen at least a couple prominent coaches make the switch to another FPS game out there. I gotta ask you,
Yeah,
what
sure.
are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on Valorant?
Honestly, I played a lot of Valorant right when it came out. I played with some of the players that are playing in Heretics now in EU. So I kind of enjoy the game. I think some aspects are not polished as well as they could have. They just nerfed the running and shooting and walking and shooting, which is probably one of the weirdest parts of the game, So I think it's a really good game in general, and I'm happy that we have some competition in some sort of way for CS. Hopefully that I'm kind of hopeful for the EU scene because I know that they don't have the biggest support. The organizations don't pick up all the teams. And some of the players have a hard time, but in general, I'm kind of positive for the future for Valorant and CS in general because it can only create kind of the same environment we had with League and with Dota, where you would have more direct competition with games, right? And CS have never had that. I don't think they've ever considered any of the other FPSs as a direct competitor before.
Yeah, certainly. I think you make a good point. Rising tide raises all ships with other competitive games. It has almost like a little bit of a rivalry, but overall it brings more eyes to esports and gaming. So it should be fun to see the future of that. Bouncing off of that, would you ever be willing to compete at a pro level for a different esport, or is Counter-Strike your sport?
I mean, I've never considered that. That would probably require me to become really bad in CS. I feel like I love CS and I think the game is really beautiful in my opinion. There's some depths to it that you won't find in any other games with the tactics and the team play, and it's kind of the basic rules that allow, but you have so many possibilities. I feel like, let's take Valorant for an example. There's so many different ultimates and abilities. You don't always have the same kind of possibilities for every round. I feel like in CS, it's up to the team to create something really like a perfect strat or something like that. So I don't have the interest of doing that. But I'm not gonna say no because you never know what the future lies.
Can you ever see yourself, we kind of touched on this, playing Valorant as a pro when you are done with Counter-Strike?
It's gonna be a maybe. It's gonna be a maybe.
So obviously not a definitive answer from a guy like Device, but I think S1mple brings up a great point for himself and the Astralis guys. You know, let's say CSGO does come back to land, right? We got a major set, and hopefully it happens this time around. Who's to say if Astralis does win a 5th total major and 4 back-to-back-to-back-to-back? I mean, who's to say they wouldn't, you know, question, okay, you know, we have done literally more than any other team has ever done in this esport and potentially ever will. It's a feat. It's a feat that it's going to be incredibly tough to beat. I hope some team does it one day, but can a team actually surpass that? That's going to be incredibly tough. Who's to say as an organization or as individual players, they're like, okay, let's go to the rising FPS, which could be the future FPS. And I know Counter-Strike fans, that hurts me as much as it does for you to hear as it does for me to say, but who's to say it's not in question? And I think S1mple himself with this, and maybe he didn't mean this, so hey, don't blame me for stretching, but let's say S1mple does win a major. Let's say S1mple does come away with one with Na'Vi or maybe a couple, and all of a sudden he gets some stellar offers, or Na'Vi wants to make the switch. These are things that are actually on the table as possibilities. They might be far, far out. Let's all hope, because this is not North American CS. This is actually the part of CS that is going to be hopefully just fine. But it does make you wonder, especially the big buckaroos that could be tossed their way by some other big organizations. What do you guys think? If you were Astralis, would you switch from CSGO to Valorant? S1mple thinks they might, especially if they get another one. Until next time, do me a favor, all right? Drink water, drink call. I'll catch you guys back here next time. Take care of yourselves. Have a great day. Get some sun. I'll see you back here soon.